I'm B Bernstein. I'm a sports agent.
When you have a movie made about you, much less a movie where Jon Hamm plays you as the lead, it's a very surreal situation. In some ways, business will change. I know that this will create different opportunities for me and for my company, but in a lot of ways, my life won't change. I come home, I got dinner, put my wife to bed, I put my kid to bed, and of course, I'm still only sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night max. What's so hard to explain to someone that needs 6 or 8 hours a night is my routine, which is, I sleep max 2 hours a night.
For him to get 5 or 6 hours a night, I've never seen that, and we've been together almost 4 years.
I think it's every 5 days he gets a third hour of sleep. I really don't know anybody who functions at the capacity JB does on 2 hours of sleep a night. It's phenomenal.
The clinical term for people who sleep less than 4 hours a night would be short sleepers. This happens about less than 2 to 3% of the population. People with this are extremely energetic, they're very productive, and they're high achievers.
I'd spend my nights on the internet reading foreign business journals and sports marketing and seeing what other companies are doing and teams and leagues are doing in other countries and see if there's anything I could reapply. In addition, I also try to work on my clients' programs. I may not be the smartest, I may not be the most experienced, I may not be the most polished, but I will physically outwork everybody. In 1989, I got an offer from Upper Deck to come out there and work in business development. And the company in general, their attitude was, it wasn't just think outside the box, it was screw the box.
Wayne Gretzky in need of just one more goal to become the leading goal scorer in National Hockey League history.
I said, we got Gretzky locked up. What if we treated the 800-second goal the same way they treat a Super Bowl? I felt like it deserved something more than just giving the guy the puck and tipping a hat to him. So we created an 800-second goal logo, t-shirts, hats, memorabilia, skates, pucks, the whole thing. This thing just felt to me like it could be huge. I just remember thinking, I was like, hey, this is a business. This is a real business, player milestones. So I had a choice. I could either continue to build this player milestone business for Upper Deck, or I could go out and try to build a business on my own. With what I consider to be another huge record in the NFL all-time rushing record looming in the distance, I felt like this was the time for me to make the move.
He made a great presentation that it was likely to happen. You may as well capitalize on it.
My first season with the guy who rushes for 2,000 yards. 98 season, he has another big year. He's 1,450 yards away from the all-time rushing record. And it's like a lock that he's going to break it in the 99 season.
I knew during that season that it was pretty much my last year. It was sort of, awkward in the sense that I didn't know how I was going to present it.
We create this whole big program, milestone marketing. We have companies in, we have Wheaties on board, Ford, commercials have been shot, merchandise, bobbleheads, jerseys, you name it. The program's ready to go.
It ended up getting all the way to the very end of the all season, and I made the announcement.
Only one average Sanders season away from breaking the NFL's all-time rushing record, the 31-year-old today announced he is retiring from pro football.
It was just complete chaos.
3 days after the Wheatie box shipped that said fueling Barry Sanders' run for the record, he retired.
I do remember the box being shipped out, the boxes being shipped out, but at that time I was just dealing with how I was going to retire.
Barry's not the kind of guy who really worries about the impact of his actions on his Q rating or his marketability.
It's kind of funny because even now people bring a lot of the Wheaties boxes to card signings, and
even though I was pretty bummed that Barry wasn't going to break the record, I turned my focus to the guy who was in line to break it, Emmitt Smith.
So boom, the next thing I know, Emmitt's a client.
Sweetness, make a place for Emmitt.
In addition to that, right around the year in 2002, I started cold calling Bonds, because I figured, like, you know, I'm the milestone guy. I was like, who's gonna have more milestones than Barry Bonds? I get a meeting, fly out to San Francisco to go meet with the guy. I met him at the Hyatt at San Francisco Airport, and he shows up, and I'm showing him all the things we're doing for Emmett and all the things I've done for Sanders, and the meeting probably lasted like 10 minutes. So he's like, all right, let's give it a shot. Now, up until this point in his career, he had one TV commercial for Armour Hot Dogs. We had a Super Bowl commercial with him and Hank Aaron for Schwab. We had him in 2 commercials with George Costanza for KFC. He was on the cover of the Sony video game. This is all in the first 6 months I had the guy.
Top story of the day, Barry Bonds indicted.
Anytime that you have your player's reputation and image come into dispute, as Barry's was at that time, you're going to have a challenge.
It was difficult. But by the same token, because we had done something that no one had ever done before, and we'd removed him from the group licensing agreement, Barry was able to do very, very well, because all the money that would normally go to the Players Association for everything from his jersey to his bobbleheads to all the various products we were able to create were now going to him.
It doesn't matter the circumstances, good or bad. My client is my client, and I'll always have his back.
They mean more to me than just a revenue stream. They're more than just friends. You know, in this business, there are a lot of things you can worry about, and I do. But one thing I don't worry about is losing clients. It's probably the only thing that doesn't keep me up at night.